Hi, I'm Danielle from Rooted Studio. Today we're doing a dynamic yin flow class, so we'll have some holding and some movement within poses. It'll be helpful to have two blocks. However, you can get away with one block, you can get away with no blocks. And doing this at home, maybe you can get creative with things that are around you in your house to use to help you support if you need a little extra lifting of the floor up to your level. We might be joined by one of my cats, Saber. He's in my room here and he's kind of been wandering around. So if you see a little black cat, he's going to be joining us for yoga today. So let's begin seated, finding a comfortable position. I like to sit on a block. Helps tip my hips forwards. But you can find any position sitting that's comfortable for you. Once you get into position, find a nice long spine. You can either close your eyes or keep them soft. Reach the crown of your head up towards the ceiling. Let your shoulders roll back gently. Begin to check in with your breathing. Noticing how it feels to breathe in versus breathe out. The temperature of the air in both directions. The quality of the air, does it feel thick? Can you feel it in different places as you breathe in? How far down can you follow it? And is your belly moving forwards and backwards as you breathe? And if not, can you draw your breath into your belly space? And on your inhale, let your belly button move forwards. And on your exhale, draw your belly button to your spine. Keep the crown of your head lifting up, keep space between your vertebrae, and keep breathing deeply into your belly space. Setting an intention for your practice today. Apologies if you hear any noises of my cat in the room or my dog barking upstairs. Seeing if you can maintain your focus no matter what's going on in my environment or your environment. So let's come back to your intention. What is it that you need from practice today? We'll take 3 deep breaths together to seal that in. So bring your intention into the front of your mind. Take a nice big inhale through your nose. Fill up all the way. Holding at the top. Exhale through your mouth. Really release and let go. Second breath in through your nose. Pausing at the top. Open mouth, exhale, let it go. Don't be afraid to make noise. Really release anything you're holding on to. Third breath in through your nose. Same thing, open mouth, exhale, really let it go. Noticing any shift in your body, in your energy, in the way that your mind is feeling. Pausing here one more moment before we open our eyes. And then go ahead and let your eyes open. Feel that space between the vertebrae of your spine. Maybe finding just a couple shoulder rolls here. Moving your shoulders backwards or forwards. We'll do both directions, doesn't matter which way you pick first. And then beginning to move the other direction. Checking in with how your shoulders feel today. And then stopping your circles, letting your neck roll a bit in each direction. You can can decide to go all in one direction first or kind of rotate back and forth. Noticing if you're holding any tightness in your neck or shoulders. It's a very common place to hold a lot, especially when we're very stressed out. And then in your seated position, if you're not already in simple cross legs, come here if your body allows. If not, you can find another position that's comfortable for you. If you are in simple cross legs already, switch the cross of your legs to be the awkward way, the not usual way for your body. And just notice how that feels in your body. It's good to do both sides to find a little balance. We'll find some seated cat-cow. If you're on a block, feel free to stay on a block or come off of it if you find that to be a little bit easier. Take your hands to your knees, and on your exhale, round your back, just like when we're in tabletop doing cat-cow. Look down towards your belly, really stretch through your arms, stretch through your back. Inhale, use your hands on your knees to pull forwards. Maybe you can look up. Exhale, round. Inhale, come forwards. Keep going to your own pace. You don't have to keep up with me. And allow yourself to find any extra movements along the way. Keep going to your own breath. Noticing how far into your body you feel this stretch. So of course we're working your spine here and your neck, but can you feel this in your hips? Can you feel it in your thighs? How far can you follow this stretch? Doing 2 more rounds of each, cat and cow, and then coming back to neutral spine once you get there. And I'll give you a couple seconds once I get back to neutral spine, just in case you're working at a different pace than me. If you're a little bit slower, again, that's no problem. I'll wait for you. If you're a little bit faster, just find your long spine here, maybe a little bit of movement through your hips. And once you get here, again, check in. See how your body is feeling with a little bit of dynamic movement. And then we'll come forwards into tabletop to find cat-cow in a tabletop position. If you're on a block, move your block out of the way. Take your hands underneath your shoulders, or maybe even a step more forwards if that's easier on your shoulders. Knees are underneath hips, and just like we did seated, exhale, round your back. Look towards your thighs. When we were sitting, it was looking towards your belly button. Inhale, lifting your chin, lifting your tail. Continuing to your own breath, and maybe adding in some extra movement. This is a really easy place to start getting a little more dynamic. So you could find some side-to-side motion as you go through any of these poses. Maybe as you exhale and dip your belly, as you exhale and round your back, you come more into a child's pose. And maybe as you inhale and dip your belly, you allow yourself to come forwards into a cobra or an up dog, depending on how your back feels. Don't push anything because it's still pretty early on. So keep going to your own breath. Fast or slow. Maybe you want faster movement today, and that's fine. Doing 1 more round of each, and then meeting in neutral spine, neutral tabletop when you're ready. Some people might be in tabletop a little bit quicker than others. Here in tabletop, once you get here, work on extending the crown of your head forwards, reaching your tailbone back, finding length in your spine horizontally this time. And then we'll push back into down dog. So walk your hands a step forwards, tuck your toes under, lift your hips. I recommend keeping knees bent first. So with knees bent, you can take your chest closer to your thighs, allowing your back to get a little bit straighter. And if you're comfortable here, feel free to reach your heels down towards the ground. Otherwise, there is no problem with keeping knees bent. You can pedal out your feet, find a little movement here, maybe even coming through plank or a back bend. Whatever feels good to help wake up your body right now. Let your head hang. Let your back be long. And then look up towards your hands. Walk forwards to meet your hands. Find a forward fold. Let your knees bend as much as you need to. See if you can get your chest on your thighs. So some people can have legs straight and get their chest on their thighs. For me, I need to bend my knees a lot in order to really get this rounding over, this resting on my thighs, letting my head hang, and just checking in with my breath here. Maybe shaking your head a little bit, yes or no, to loosen up your neck. Maybe pedaling your feet here to start stretching into your hamstrings. We'll roll up one vertebrae at a time. Take your time. Your head is the last thing up. Nice and slow. Feel each vertebra as you come up. When you get to the top, roll your shoulders back, palms facing forwards, finding Tadasana. Feet hip distance apart. They can be close together if you want. Palms facing forwards, shoulders gently rolling back, finding length in your spine. Maybe closing your eyes here. Just checking in with your breath, checking in with your intention, checking in with your body. We'll come into 3 sun A's to help warm you up. So taking one more big breath in, open mouth, exhale, let it go. You'll come up to the top of your mat, finding Tadasana at the top of your mat. Nice, Amber. Inhale your arms overhead. We'll take the first one nice and slow. Find length in your back, looking up maybe into your hands or up towards the ceiling. Finding vertical length, like somebody's pulling your hands up as you're reaching your feet down, like you have roots growing out your feet. On your next exhale, forward fold, bending your knees as much as you need to. Take your hands to your shins. Inhale, flat back, look forwards. Extend your spine forwards. Use your hands on your thighs to help push back as the crown of your head reaches in the front direction. Keep breathing. Don't hold your breath here. Next exhale, fold down, plant your hands, step your feet back into plank. You can always drop your knees in plank if you need to. But here in plank, suck your belly up and in. Everything is tight. Here for one more breath. Drop down your knees, untuck your toes, lower down hips, chest, keeping your elbows nice and tight to your body. Pick up your left leg, get your thigh off the ground. Pick up your right leg, get your thigh off the ground. Inhale up, cobra. Maybe floating your hands on this first one. Keep breathing, don't hold your breath. Plant your hands, elbows tight to your body. Tuck your toes, push back, down dog. Bend your knees as much as you need to. Take a breath here. Exhale, let it go. Look up towards your hands. Walk up. Forward fold. Next inhale brings you up. Arms sweep overhead. Exhale, hands to heart. We'll repeat that 2 more times, picking up the pace a little bit, breath to movement. If you need to slow down, just come into child's pose. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Step back into plank. Inhale here. Exhale, lower down. Knees, hips, chest. Keeping elbows tight to your body. Inhale, up cobra. Exhale, push back. Down dog. My foot is being attacked by my cat. Take a breath here in. Take a breath here out. Look up towards your hands. Step forwards, forward fold. Take a breath in and out. Inhale overhead. Exhale, hands to heart. One more round. Inhale overhead. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Step back into plank. Inhale here. Exhale, lower down. Knees, hips, chest. Inhale up, cobra. Exhale back, down dog. Take an inhale here. Take an exhale. Take another inhale. Exhale, bring down your knees. Big toes touch, knees wide. Slide back, child's pose. Forehead on the floor. Check in with your intention while you're here in child's pose. Check in with your breath. Make sure it's nice and slow. And when you're ready, push up, coming into down dog. In down dog, take your right leg up to the ceiling. Reach through your toes, maybe bend at the knee, drop your heel down towards the ground, finding some ankle circles. And then square everything up, straighten your leg out, look up towards your hands, bring your foot through, coming into low lunge. In low lunge, make sure your heel is underneath your knee. If you need blocks, you can use blocks here to help lift your chest. Otherwise, find your low lunge. Just feeling it first. We're going to start to make this more dynamic really soon. So breathing into this, feeling the space in your groin. So really stretching, front leg forward, back leg back. Find space. Let your hips drop a little bit. Take your back heel down, spin that down. Lift up, keep your hips pointing forwards or at least your shoulders. Arms overhead. Keep breathing. Now take your pelvis, tuck it under. My cat is enjoying the hinge of the door. I don't know, cats. Keep breathing. Really drop into this, feel that space again, that stretch in your groin. On your exhale, lower down. Step back, down dog. You'll have to straighten out your back foot. Come back into down dog. Left leg goes up. Bend at the knee, drop your heel to the ground, maybe ankle circles. Keep breathing. Square up, straighten out, look up towards your hands. Send your foot through, low lunge. In low lunge, option for blocks, option to drop your knee. Find that space in between your groin area. So really sending left leg forward, right leg back, dropping your hips. He wants to get out is what he wants to do. He's trapped with me. Bless you. One more breath. Spin down your right heel. Lift up your chest. Maybe looking up into your hands. Tuck your pelvis under. Keep your body facing forwards. Continue to breathe into your belly space. Maybe you can check in with your intention here. Exhale, fold. Drop. No, step back. Step back is what I meant. Finding down dog. Right leg up. Look up towards your hands. Step through. Low lunge. Spin your back heel. Inhale up. Warrior one. In warrior one, we're going to make fists of fire. So you're going to take your hands, I took this from Sadie Nardini, I did her yoga shred course, her teacher training. Inhale, and on your exhale, you're going to exhale all that air out forcefully while taking your hands down, and it's like you're throwing something down out of your fists. So inhale, exhale, release. Inhale, exhale, release. Inhale, exhale, 2 more. Inhale, exhale, 1 more. Inhale, exhale, good. Inhale up. Exhale, lower, coming back into low lunge. Turn your foot forwards in the back. Step back, down dog. Left leg up. Look up towards your hands. Step through. Finding low lunge. Spin down your back heel. Inhale up. Good. Warrior one. Same thing. Make fists. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. 2 more. 1 more. Arms back up. Exhale, lower. Step back, down dog. If you need a break, just go into child's pose. Right leg up. Look towards your hands. Step through. Good. Here, just catch your breath first. My breath is even up. Take your back heel down. Extend your knee, straightening out your front leg. We're coming into a wide pyramid. Now a couple things. When you do this, your body's going to start to shift to the side. You want to keep hips and shoulders squaring forwards, at least shoulders if your hips won't go. If you can't reach, find your blocks. Bring them underneath your shoulders. Allow your hips to square forwards, or at least your shoulders. Keep breathing. Usually when we take pyramid, it's a little bit narrower, so this is a really wide pyramid. Notice where your shoulders are at. Can you take them away from your ears? Maybe you can fold down. I can't go far. Taking your nose down towards your knee. If you're folded down, come back up to a flat back. Start to find some movement within this pose. So maybe it's just rocking forwards and backwards, or something else. Find some movement here. Get some fluid going in your knee joint, your ankle joints. And then come back to your pyramid. If you have blocks, move them out of the way. Come back into lunge. Hi. Step back, down dog. Left leg up. Look up towards your hands. Step through. Same thing on this side, finding our wide pyramid. Spin your back heel down. Hips are automatically starting to shift as you straighten your front leg, just because we turn that foot out. If you need blocks, bring your blocks. Turn your body back forwards. So on this side, I have a lot more flexibility. I can almost get my head down to my knee. I cannot even get anywhere close on the other side. That's normal to have different sides. I'm still going to use blocks though. Helps me deepen into the stretch a little bit more. Taking your hips, pointing them forwards. Shoulders away from your ears. Send your left hip back, right hip forwards. Maybe folding down if you can, or staying up high. Begin to find some movement here. Maybe it's the same thing that you did on the other side. Just rocking back and forth, getting fluid flowing through your heels, through your ankles, kind of pumping it around in your foot, through your knee. through your toes as your toes bend. So just moving stuff around so it's not stagnant. Moving lymph, boosting immunity. Who can't use that right now, right? And then coming back to your pyramid, hips facing forwards. Good. One more breath. Exhale, let it go. We're going to come forwards. Now we're in a really long stance, so it might be easier to take a couple steps. Move your blocks if you have blocks. Inhale back up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Check in here with your intention. Check in with your breath. Coming into a warrior sequence. Step your feet nice and wide. Turn your left toes in, right toes out. Square your body back up to me. Bend into your front knee. Make sure you can see your big toe and second toe, and if not, step a little wider. Extend your arms out, parallel to the floor, body still facing me, shoulders away from your ears. Look over your right middle finger and breathe. Good. We're going to find some movement here, making this a little more dynamic. Flip your front palm, reach back, reverse your warrior, and then come all the way forwards into extended side angle, taking your right elbow to your leg, your thigh, reaching up with your left hand, maybe reaching overhead. Come back into reverse. Go forwards into extended side angle. Coordinating to your breath, however it makes sense. Let's do this 5 times total. This is number 2, I think. If I'm wrong, oh well. Number 3. 2 more. One more. Coming back into warrior 2. Looking over your right middle finger, body facing the front of the room. Or me. It could be the back of the room, I suppose. Good. Straighten your front knee. Turn both toes forwards. Both feet. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Again, you can find a block. Just coming into a wide-legged forward fold. And in wide-legged forward fold, find some movement. Maybe finding a twist, taking left hand down, right hand up. Switching sides, right hand down, left hand up. Coming back. We're here for 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Heel toe your feet in a step. Hands on your hips. Inhale, come on up. Step your feet together. Find Tadasana. Palms facing forwards. Shoulders rolled back. Lengthen your spine. Legs are active. Turn on your quads. You should feel your kneecaps pull up. Check your breath. Repeating what we just did on the other side. Step your feet nice and wide. Right toes in, left toes out. Square your body back up to me. Bend into your front knee. Can you see big toe, second toe? Make sure your body's still facing me. Arms extend parallel to the ground. Look over your left middle finger. Really reach through both hands. Flip your left palm up. Hand, right hand by your back knee. Inhale, reach back, reverse. Exhale, elbow to knee, extended side angle. Hand can be straight up or reaching overhead. Inhale. Exhale. 3 more. 2 more. Feel it into your body. Where do you notice the stretch? Where's the sensation? Come on back up, warrior. Turn both toes forwards. Maybe this time you want a shoulder stretch as you come into your wide-legged forward fold. If that's the case, clasp your hands behind your back, both toes pointing forwards. Exhale, drop, letting your shoulders roll forwards, palms reaching towards the ground. And even if you're here, that's okay too. Finding whatever you can, and if you don't like this, you don't need to do it. You can keep your hands down on the mat. Checking in with your intention. If your hands are clasped behind you, bring them back down. Find movement one more time. Maybe finding a really deep side lunge here, Skandasana. I call it ninja lunge. Ooh, gonna fall. Here for 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Heel toe your feet in, hands on your hips. Inhale, come on up. We're going to take it down to the mat. So finding your way down to the mat, my favorite way is through Malasana, or yogi squat. You'll take your feet a little bit wider than your mat, hips or toes pointing out, heels facing in, hands to heart, sinking down. And then maybe finding some movement here, or you can just come right to sit on your mat, that's fine too. And then finding your way down to the mat, however you want to get there. I'm going to come off my mat, otherwise you won't be able to see me. We're going to take a wide-legged forward fold seated first. So extending your legs wide, walking your hips back. You might need to take a blanket, and that's actually what I'm going to do for myself here. You could use a towel, or really a sheet. My hips, like I said earlier, need a little bit of a tip forwards. This is not a toy. Fringes and cats. So I'm going to take this underneath, my hips on the edge. So I'm not sitting on the blanket all the way, I'm just on the edge of it. So it helps tip my hips forwards a little bit more. My foot is going to be intact the entire time, and that's okay. This is allowing me to start to roll forwards. So finding your seated wide-legged forward fold. Begin to walk your hands forwards. You can keep your feet active if you want more of a stretch, pushing your knees down to the ground, or you can relax your feet and make this a little more passive, allowing your head to hang. I want you basically to find a stretch that feels good for your body, something that feels nice in your legs, or maybe slightly uncomfortable. We don't want pain, but a little bit of an edge, a little bit of a stretch is good. Hi, bud. It helps if you have a cat to help distract you, or a dog, or a goat. Maybe I'll record some stuff outside with my goat. When your stretch is pretty intense, it can help take your mind off of it. Although there is something important about staying with some discomfort and breathing through it. Hello, bud. Really? Noticing if you're holding tension anywhere. Shoulders, face, jaw. Can you relax it? Can you take your pose a little deeper? Can you step your feet a little bit wider? Can you fold down a little bit more? We'll take 2 more breaths here. Feel free to make big exhales. And just let everything go. Walk yourself back up to a tall seat. Next, we'll take the soles of the feet together in Baddha Konasana. Oops. I'm going to stay on my blanket. Helps me out. You can choose to have your feet close or far. They'll create a different stretch depending on what you're looking for. Walk your hips back or grab your butt cheeks, move them out of the way, and start to fold forwards. You can use blocks here if you want to rest your forehead, or you don't need them at all. Walking forwards, forwards, forwards until you're feeling the stretch where you want to feel it. Maybe you need to fold all the way down. Checking in with your breath wherever you're at. Something that I like to do, if your body allows, is to slide my hands underneath my legs. It gives you a different kind of shoulder stretch. Breathing all the way into your belly space. Taking one more breath. Letting it go. Walking yourself up to a tall seat. If you have a blanket underneath you or a towel or something, you might want to move that off to the side. Use your hands underneath your knees to help your legs come back up and stretch them long. Take your right leg, cross it over your left. Right hand comes behind you. You can either, as we come into this twist, hug your knee or hook your elbow. But first, inhale and sit tall. And when you twist, I want you to think about twisting from your low back first, and then middle, and then top, up by your neck. So we're probably going to have to breathe in again because I just talked a long time while you were breathing in. Inhale, sit tall. Exhale, twist from your lumbar first, then the middle of your back, and your neck last. Maybe you can look over your right shoulder. And again, maybe you can hook your elbow on your knee. Don't worry about really finding a deep twist here. Maybe go 60% of what you can do, just finding a gentle twist. Breathing, feeling your belly push against your thigh. Coming back to center. Helping your leg extend long, and then switching sides, left leg goes over, grabbing your right knee, left hand behind, inhale, sit tall, exhale, twist. Breathing into the stretch, checking in with your intention, especially as we slow down. What did you come here for today? Coming back to center, extending your legs long. You'll come and lay all the way down on your back. We'll find bridge next, so take your feet about hip distance apart, maybe a little bit wider, heels close to your glutes. Take your shoulders and gently roll them underneath you, arms extended by your sides. Lift your hips, reach through your knees. Maybe you can clasp your hands underneath your back. Roll your shoulders under, maybe a little bit more. See if you can flatten your neck against the mat, finding extension in your cervical spine. Can you breathe into your belly space here? Maybe watching your belly rise and fall, maybe closing your eyes. One more breath, nice and deep all the way in. Exhale, let it go. As we come down, I want you to tuck your tailbone underneath. So if your hands are clasped, let them go. Tuck your tail, rolling down, lengthening your spine along the mat. Good. Find your block, slide it underneath your sacrum. And then you'll extend your legs up into the air for waterfall. Might need to adjust the block, might need to tuck your shoulders under again. And in this position, make this dynamic. You can stay here static if you want, but do stuff with your legs if you want to find some movement. So maybe you take your legs wide. Maybe you extend the other direction, almost a scissor kick. Do whatever feels good, whatever helps work out any kinks. If you want a little bit of an ab challenge, send your legs down towards the ground. You'll feel the spot where your body's like, ooh, that hurts. That's about that right there for me. I'm starting to shake already. So you can hold there. Just don't hold your breath. We'll be here for another 30 seconds or so. So find whatever motion it is you need. Checking in with your breath here. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring your feet back down. Lift your hips, slide your block out of the way. If there's anything else you need to take before your final Shavasana, find that now. And I encourage you not to skip Shavasana. It's really easy to just turn off the video right here. But this is a really important part of your practice, allowing you to integrate everything together, to take a moment of just some quiet space, letting everything go. When you're ready to find your Shavasana, extend your legs long, maybe going as wide as your mat, just for something different if you don't normally do that. You can take your hands and let them face up or down or rest on your belly. I like to almost starfish sometimes. Might need to roll your shoulders underneath you. And then let your eyes close. Checking in with your breath. Body scanning and noticing any areas of tension, especially in your shoulders, neck, and jaw. On your exhale, can you let those places sink a little bit deeper? Let the muscles of your body get a little bit wider, a little more relaxed. And then continue to follow your breath. Letting everything go. lengthening your breath in both directions, finding a longer inhale and a longer exhale. Finding a little bit of movement in your body, maybe wiggling fingers and toes or ankles and wrists. Bending your knees, rolling onto whichever side is more comfortable for you. Maybe using your arm as a pillow. Checking in one last time. Finding that intention one last time. And then we'll come up to seated, so pushing up, finding a tall seat, maybe on a block or your mat. Ending the way we started, long spine. Reaching the crown of your head up, finding space between your vertebrae. Take a couple deep breaths. Exhaling as loud as you need to. Your next inhale, whenever that might be, takes your arms overhead, palms to touch. Exhale your hands to your heart. Finding one more breath in. One more breath out. Thank you so much for joining me here today. Thanks for putting up with my cat being in the video. May you be healthy. May you be happy. May your mind be at ease, knowing that you can come back to this video or any other ones that are posted on our page at any time to help you find a little bit of sanity among the chaos of life. Thank you so much again for being here. Namaste.